Fight Talk TV.
Could you describe your relationship with Tony Burns?
Tony Burns was like a father figure 1 minute, and then, someone who told jokes 1 minute, and then someone who slagged you off if you weren't doing the right things in boxing. He called you all the names, but he was so clever. Such a clever boxer, coach. And he'll get the best out of you. That's what Tony Burns was. He was the best. Everyone around the world knew Tony Burns. He took boxers to the Olympic Games. All the world champions around the world knew him. Promoters knew him. So I was in the best place to become the best boxer in my country, in Europe, and the world. I went to all the games, so I was lucky. And to have that was having a coach like Tony Burns, who was respected, in that field of boxing. He was loved and respected. He was loved through people at Repton and his family, and he was loved through myself because he gave me opportunities. He gave me opportunities to work at his place. When you need a job, he'll help you out. That's what I'm talking about, that community love. Even though he didn't express it, you wouldn't know he was giving you. He would tell you later. He'd tell you like, if you work like that again, or if you're not listening, you won't be coming here tomorrow. He'll always put you on your feet, keep you on your toes, But like I said, Tony Burns, he knew everyone, and everyone knew Tony Burns, but he was loved and respected.
Who were some of your biggest inspiration in the sport growing up?
I just love people who love sport. For me, I had favorite people, I had musicians who I loved. I loved people like Kano. I knew Kano as a youngster. His uncle, I played football with his uncle. My sister sang, and Soul Solid Crew. I knew some of the boys from there as youngsters, growing up, and they made it. So it's knowing good people in the community. It was the best way, So I was inspired by, musicians. My good friend, his brother, is Billy Ocean. So I used to love singing songs that Billy Ocean sang. People didn't understand it, but he lived across the road, and my mum bought his record, what went to number one, and I never stopped singing. So yeah, it's a blessing to live in a place where we live in East London, where there was lots of special people, good people who did lots of good things.
How many amateur fights did you have, and what did you win in the amateurs?
I won a lot. I had over 250 odd fights, and I stayed amateur. I loved the amateur game. I only lost, say 25 of all, so I always know and remember the people who beat me. The ones I've beat, I probably forgot, but I'll never forget the ones who I, lost to.
What fighters have you trained throughout the years in boxing that have made a breakthrough?
Lots of fighters. Lots of fighters.
Any specific ones?
No, I wouldn't give names, but I know that I've changed their lives and developed them and made them better people. I've trained kids from West London, South London, all in projects in East Newham. I had the best. I had the good kids, young people.
Do you wanna
Wherever they were from, I didn't care if they were yellow, pink, green. I just love kids, young people.
Do you wanna talk about like Ohara Davies or Yarde?
Yeah, if you want to talk
Yarde?
about them, you want me to talk about them. So I had them, yeah, they were good fighters, which were, young people who I helped and developed and made, and they became champions.
You founded Omnibus in 2001. What inspired you to start it?
I just helping young people. I always helped young people when I was coaching here, when this first opened up, the Peacock, in the 70s, 75, I think this place opened, 76. And I loved coaching people. I loved coaching people when I football, so I just loved it.
How did you see boxing helping young people with learning difficulties or behavior challenges?
It just brings the energy that they need to express themselves. That's what boxing does. Boxing shows them that they can be men and women, can be human. Don't have to be scared of people, And that's what it does. You come out your shell, makes you a new person. It brings light, and you start shining. So boxing's so special. People don't understand what it can do for society, for humankind, for mankind.
How did boxing shape your discipline and mindset outside the ring?
Boxing, listen, I played football. Yeah, when I played football, I didn't have the discipline. As a youngster, I never did. But as soon as I didn't make the football stage, like my son has made to play as a professional player at Salford, I could have done that, but I never had the ability to cope with people's way of life of telling you what you are and so I couldn't take that. I came from East London, Roman Road, Bethnal Green, Poplar, Canning Town. You just wouldn't let people talk to you like that, see? So I didn't have the discipline. But when I got into boxing gave me the discipline because people wouldn't like you, but you knew how to cope with it because you had a powerful sport behind you, like boxing, which helped you cope with anxiety, helped you cope with anger, helped you cope with depression. And that's how powerful this sport is.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I should have boxed earlier. As a young kid, I should have boxed earlier.
Okay. How do you balance being a mentor, a coach, and a community leader?
You have to. If you want people to come together, you have to do it all.
What does legacy mean to you in the boxing and beyond?
Legacy, I hope people would always know Tony Cesay, who helped him, helped the community, and, you know, love boxing, love sport.
Okay. So, who is the toughest opponent you have ever faced?
I've faced Russians, Cubans, you know, Scottish, Irish. They're all tough. They've all been tough, you know, tough people around the world, strong. So, you know, all them fights I've had, the people have not been, you know, not tough. They all want to win. So, you know, boxing's a tough game.
What is your favorite boxing movie?
Probably all the Rocky films.
If you weren't a boxer, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be a brain surgeon.
Okay, what is your dream boxing match, past or present? Who do you watch? Who would you like to watch?
No, I think I used to love Floyd Mayweather. I loved Lloyd Hannigan when he won his world championship. I loved, you know, watching just great fighters. Loved it, you know. What was his name? You know, Sugar Ray Robinson. I loved watching him. You know, he changed the way of boxing.
That's all for today's episode of Fight Talk TV. Huge thanks to Tony Cesay for sharing his journey inside and outside the ring.
Thank God for that, bloody hell. I thought you'd still gonna keep me here.
If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, comment and subscribe for more interviews with the biggest names in boxing and hidden gems. I'm Nabil and you've been watching Fight Talk TV, where real fighters tell real stories. See you next time.
Thank you, Mr. Chaudhry. Thank you.